All right, so here comes the final assessment exam key. First question was about perpendiculars through 9, 10. So I'll just write x minus 9 plus 10, get that out of the way. The slope and multiplier times x is 5, so that means we have a 5-to-1 ratio of change. And if we want perpendicular, it's the negative reciprocal, so negative 1/5. Parallel. Well, we got to put this in some other form. I suppose we know the perpendicular is minus 7/2 is a shortcut. So the negative reciprocal is going to be 2/7. That's going to be parallel to this. But let's not take any shortcuts. Let's do 2x equals 7y. Now let's do 2x minus 20 equals 7y. Let's divide by 7. So there's 3/2 x minus 20/7 equals y. There's your famous mx plus b. So perpendicular through 0, 0. Not that I need to write x minus 0 plus 0, so I won't. I'll just put x there, and I'll multiply it by 2/7. So y equals 2/7 x. Yep. Goes through 0, 0. Got a rise of 2 and a run of 7. Now we're going to evaluate 5x plus 5 for minus 4/3. So 5 times minus 4/3 plus 5 is equal to minus 20/3 plus 15/3, which is equal to minus 5/3. I hope we've gotten a lot better with our fraction work during the course of the semester. Now we want to solve g of x equals 2/9. What was g of x? 5x plus 5. So 5x plus 5 equals 2/9. So I want to multiply everything by 9. Oh, I had to write it. Yeah, we didn't have the function here. 5x plus 5 equals 2/9. So 45x plus 45 equals 2. So I can see that 45x equals minus 43. So x is equal to negative 43/45. I guess we're looking for 2 points on this equation of a line written in standard form. I'll move the 8 over so it's more familiar. So positive 8. What's the x-intercept? The x-intercept is when y is 0. I'm sorry, when x is 0. So if I put a 0 in for x, then I'm finding the y-intercept. Oh boy, I'm tired already. So there we go. 0, -2 is the y-intercept, and 8/5 is the x-intercept. Okay, I guess I'm over speaking that, over talking that. Okay, I asked you to solve for x. So we're going to move the c first, d minus c, and then we got ax b. So x is equal to d minus c divided by, I'm multiplying by a and b. I'll divide by a and b on that side. So d minus c over ab. Linear function. Won't take too much time with that. We'll get rid of minus 5/9 with an x plus 5 plus 9. Get that done. Change in y, looks like I'm going down 8. Change in x, looks like I'm going up 4, and I don't care if you leave it like that. Systems of equations. We've got to find out where these two lines intersect. We just graphed one like this a moment ago. All right, I can see that multiplying by -2 will be a nice column of work here. So minus 3x plus 4y equals -10. And I'll multiply by -2. So minus 4x minus 4y equals -60. Then I'm going to add up. Y's cancel. Minus 7x equals minus 70. Oh, how nice. So x is 10. Since I have x is 10, 20 plus 2y equals 30. 2y is equal to 10, so y is 5. Okay, I am going to try to find a better marker immediately. I've got so many markers in here that are, good, I got a good one. All right, what are we looking at? Well, a point of intersection. So minus x over 3, trying to write a little bigger. Remember to write bigger, Mr. V, equals 7, equals -3 over 5x plus 4. So I'm going to multiply everything by 15. So this is going to be 15 times bigger, divided by 3, minus 5x. 15 times -7 is minus 105. Math teacher, I've done that one a lot. 15 into 5 into 15 is 3, so minus 9x. And 15 times 4 is 60. 15, 40, and 20, yep. All right, so I'll bring the 9x this way. That makes 4x. I'll make the 105 go on the other side, which is going to be 165. And so it looks like x is 165 divided by 4. I can thank Matt Weinstein for this process today. I'm leaving these problems on the board. And then I'm going to copy down the answers on an answer key. And that's going to be very helpful, because then I don't have to do it again during a faculty meeting. Thank you, Matt. Repetition is my friend. Slope, change in y. 9 minus 5, change in x. 3 minus, oh, the x's don't change. Wow, this is like 4 miles per hour, no hours. I went 4 miles. How do you do that? Beam me up, Scotty. I guess the slope is undefined. Unless you can tell me how you can move 4 miles in no time at all, miles per hour. I mean, that's kind of what a slope is, right? Changing this over changing that. I'm moving right along. What did I ask you to do? I don't remember. Piecewise, I do remember. All right, so my first piece is going up. All right, so first piece is going up. Always looks like Alfred Hitchcock to me, but not today. God, it's such a hard thing to draw this thing. Let's see, I think it comes out, then around, something like that. No. Anyway, look in the book. See that proper symbol. I'm too tired to remember. I'm making funny faces. Da-da-da-da. There we go. Good enough. Top one is positive 3. 5x plus 7 plus 1. But you know what? I'm only going to do that for the x's that are less than. Less than what? Minus 7/5. No, less than. I put equals. Oh, the old guy's getting tired. 5x plus 7 plus 1, comma, for x's greater than or equal to negative 7/5. Those are the two pieces. The second one was decreasing. Bingo, bango, bongo. I'm glad I'm doing bingo, bango, bongo. Makes me feel like I'm at the 3-county fair in Northampton. All right, here we go. Oldest fair in the country. Oldest 3-county fair. Bingo minus bango over bongo. I'm going to do bongo like that, though. A couple of bongo drums. All right, so I got 5x minus 20. I got 3x minus 6. And I'm going to leave it as x minus 2, just in case I get some common factors that cancel out of the problem. 5x minus 3x is 2x. Minus 20 plus 6 is minus 14. X minus 7 is not one of the denominators, so I'll do x squared minus 6x plus 8. I think that is fewer strokes of the pen. In this case, the marker. Y varies inversely as x squared. Y varies. That's the constant of proportionality, x squared. When y is 2, x is 4. So that's times 16. Looks like k is equal to 1/8. Woo! I am now going to go back and do the problem again. 1/8. And I've been given y. Y is 10. I'm going to solve this. And I just erased the problem. X squared equals x over 3. I saw it. So 80 equals x squared. My definitions here, I think we're only dealing with positive numbers here. Okay, so I'm not going to do plus minus. I'm just going to say that x is equal to the square root of 80. And I will check on that to make sure that I'm correct. Okay, 3x squared. Boop. Bring the x over, set it to 0, factor out an x, 3x minus 1 equals 0. Two answers, 0 and 1/3, which means 1/6 is the x value of the vertex of that quadratic. Minus b over 2a. Oh, what do we got here? Oh, this is the vertex. Okay, so we got ourselves an x plus 3. Can you see? Yes. X plus 3 squared plus 3. And then we look at that, and that's 49 units of change, square area. It's 7 units squared. And from 3 to 4 is up 1. So 1 over 49, x plus 3 squared plus 3. 3/5 gets a 0, therefore 5x minus 3 is a factor. 2 gets a 0, so x minus 2 is a factor. I'll put a 4 in. 20 minus 3, 17 times 2 is 34. I don't want 34. I'm going to do the conversion with a multiplier. I want 5. That satisfies that. Moving right along. 7 minus 2i. So let's see. So we got x squared minus 14x plus 53. But let's do it out. So we're going to move the 7 to this side. We're going to leave the minus 2i over here. We're going to square this. X squared minus 14x plus 49. We're going to square that. 4i squared, which happens to be negative 4. We're going to bring negative 4 to the other side, and we're going to get x squared minus 14x plus 53 equals 0. This one here is x squared minus 5x plus 4 equals 0. Oh, that's a nice one. X minus 1, x minus 4 equals 0. Looks like 1 and 4 are roots to that equation. Whereas it's not roots to an equation. It's where am I? It's where this parabola intersects that line. Yeah, I said it right finally. Got to get another marker. This one's dying too. There, I got a blue one. Come on, baby. No, stinks. All right, so that one's going here. I'm going to start getting rid of these. Let's see. This has been capped for a while. Has it come back? Enough. We'll survive with it. So 2x squared equals minus 20. So we'll divide by 2, minus 10. Then we'll do the plus minus. I don't think we've gone over plus minus. Maybe we have. I don't know. I didn't see a bunch of answer keys didn't have it, so we must not have covered it. Plus minus, then I. And it's I is outside. Okay, adopting the Ti-Nspire method. Oh, let's take out an x. And let's multiply 23x plus 2. Reads a little better. And let's set that to 0. And we can see our roots. 0, negative 2 over 23. Moving right along. Minus 3i to the 99th. Minus 3i to the 99th. So that's 49 times, right? I squared 49 times, because 50 would have been 100. And that's times I. And I know that now that I've expressed it that way, odd gets me a negative. And a negative times a negative is positive, so 3i. 5 minus 6i squared is 25 minus 60i, because you've got to double that product, plus 36i squared. So that's going to be minus 36. So when I put it with 25, I'm going to get minus 9. Okay, I'm going to subtract 5. That's 18. I'm going to divide by 2. That's 9. I'm going to take a square root, which is a plus minus 3. And then I'm going to add 1. So what are my answers? 3 and 1 make 4. Minus 3 plus 1, negative 2. Those are 2 answers for that. Moving right along. Now, hopefully you're pausing. Well, you're just looking at what you got wrong. So square root of 10, I'm going to rewrite as square root of 5 times square root of 2. Now I can do that easily. Square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5 times 3, 15 root 2. I'm going to write square root of 15 as root 5 times root 3. The square root of 5 times square root of 5 is 5, root 3. These are not like terms. I'm done. I'm going to square a negative and get a positive. I'm going to square 5 and get 25. I'm going to square the square root of 3 and I'm going to get 3. Looks like 75. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody's got to yell. Getting near the end here. This is where I usually fall apart. I hope it's factorable. I'm going to check. I'm going to do b squared minus 4ac right now, which is 4 minus 4 times 3 times 7. Oh, this sucker's got some imaginary answers to it. So since I've done this far, I got 4 minus 12 times 7 is 84. So I got minus 80. I might as well go right to the quadratic formula. Minus b, 2 plus or minus the square root of negative 80. I'll do it over here. Is the square root of 16, negative 16 times, that's 16, 5. Yes. Okay? So plus minus, square root of negative 16 is 4i. And that's going to be times the square root of 5. All over 2a, which is 6. This baby needs some doctoring up. I'm going to divide by 2. 1, 2, 3. 1 plus or minus 2i root 5 over 3. All right, so this is called the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac. If that isn't a perfect square, then you can't factor a trinomial. You can't factor that quadratic. Okay, it's not the quadratics. There are other trinomials besides quadratics. It's just trinomial means 3 terms. I could have had x cubed plus 2x plus 5. That's trinomial. So b squared minus 4ac is the discriminant for quadratics. If you don't get numbers like 4, 9, 16, 25, perfect squares, it can't factor. I did not get a nice number, minus 80. So therefore, I went right to the quadratic formula. Okay, 1 second. Let me get a better marker. I got to find one somewhere. That baby's dying. What do we got? We got a green one here. Let's see. Oh, I got a good one. I'm so excited. 9x squared y to the 6th. Square the first term. Oh, I got a shock. 9x squared y to the 6th. I'm going to look at the product. Minus 12. I'm going to double it. Minus 24. I'm going to put the m first. M x y cubed. Squaring that gets me a positive. Squaring that gets me 16. Squaring that gets me m squared. I think we're pretty good at that. Yep, everybody can see that. F of x. I think this asks for the minimum. I've gotten in the habit of just graphing it real quick. So there's a 10. Going down at 40. I'm coming back up again. 2 goes into 40. 20 cut in half is 10. So if I put a 10 in, that's minus 400. I cut it in half. Minus 200 plus a 10 is minus 190. So that was your minimum, minus 190. You don't want to say the x value, that's independent. This is the output. So when I ask for a minimum, I'm looking for an output. What's the minimum output? The number negative 190. What did I ask? Domain and range. Well, I see a cup shape up. So I can already see the domain is all reals. Domain is x equals all reals. What else do I see? I see a 2 over here. I see a 6 over here. That leads me to believe that that's a 4 right there. If I want the minimum, just like the last problem, I got to use this number. Right? The number we would have used up here is minus b over 2a, right, which gets us 10. I'm just doing it a different way now because I don't like thinking. I had to think for a second there. So I put a 4 in. 4 minus 2 is 2. I know that'll be negative 2. Oh, it is, yep. So negative 4. So what's the minimum? Or what's the range? Sorry, this is range. Well, that's a minimum. Every y value is above that. So the range is y values greater than or equal to negative 4. And I am going to stop this, and that was problem 29. So this is the exam key, 1 to 29. Yes, there we go. Yep, that's me, right? That's me. I got that picture taken yesterday. Yep. Bye-bye.